just waiting for it. I could see the timing coming. I'm like, he's getting himself ready.
Welcome back to another episode of Desire to Inspire, your mama's favorite podcast. Dylan, we got our first live audience.
Oh shit!
On my side,
up, baby.
We are moving up, brother. We doing big things, but before we get started,
good plug. Good plug.
You see these? These are nice. If you haven't got your blender bottle, get them. We will attach the link below, but support us. And thank you to everybody that has supported us so far. It's crazy to kind of see the people that are behind this. And to be completely frank, it's people that I don't even know or didn't even think that they were paying attention to it. So it just goes to show you that some of this stuff is resonating with people, which is what we want. And we're going to continue to grow. As you can see, we're a little bit more official. We got a mic stand now. Shout out to
the sponsors.
Yeah, this person really believes in us, and they want us to get more professional each and every time. So you guys
just wait till we're out here in tuxedos.
Yeah,
we're gonna be real professional.
But yeah, and the backdrop's gonna be changing soon, but there's some things in the works. So shout out to everybody that's supporting this brand movement.
Your backdrop's pretty legit, bro. Mine is just a fucking empty room. Every time I look at yours, I'm like, that looks pretty legit, but I don't know where I'd even fucking go.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish you guys could see the little. This isn't even a cubicle. It's smaller than a cubicle that I'm in right now. I'm very, very constricted.
It's all good, man. Once you're down here in Texas, we have been plotting big things for the little studio that we're gonna do. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good time, and there's more things to come. Shout out to the sponsor. Shout out to the people supporting us. We're gonna keep going, baby. We ain't gonna stop.
Hell yeah.
What you got for me, Dilbert?
All right, man. So I got a good one today.
Uh-oh.
I was going through my notes. I actually erased all my topics off the whiteboard by accident, but I was going through my notes and I actually found a whole bunch of them from November. So these are ones that I have been thinking on, and now I feel like they're even more relevant. So the one I got for you today is, when you're living unhealthy, no one has anything to say, but when you change, that's when they start to speak up. And basically, the lens that I'm looking at this through is, so nobody said anything to me when I was going out every weekend, when I'm drinking, when I'm eating whatever, when I'm fucking sleeping until noon just to start day drinking again. Nobody had anything to say, It's just that's societal norms. But then when I start training for stuff, it's, oh, you're running too much. Are you sure you need to be drinking that much water? Are you getting enough food in? And it's just, when you start to change, like, you go against the grain, people want to start to speak up then, because it's really just an insecurity thing. They don't want you to exceed. They don't want you to go past where they're at. They'd rather you just be complacent like them. So I think that that's where a big part of them speaking up comes from.
Yep. I love that. Doing this 75 hard, I actually came across a TikTok of this couple, and they were showing their results. Phenomenal results from doing 75 hard, lost a lot of weight, looked really well from where they started to where they were at the end of the 75 hard. And all of a sudden, about 10, 12 seconds into the video, this woman pops up. She goes,
it's like a fucking duet.
She's like, well, let me tell you why 75 hard doesn't work for me and why 75 hard isn't good for people. And it's just like, that's another sign or another symbol of, like, everybody always looking at the negatives or always looking at the thing of why it didn't work, why it didn't this. But it's like, what else did you take out of it? Did it help you get on track for reading more to help your mental state? Did it help you go to bed earlier so that way you can wake up more and do more things? Did it help structure your day better so that way you have it around? And it's looking at those things that, okay, you may have not got the results that you were thinking, but overall, the whole picture, was there anything that you took out of it? And so it's always shining light on this negative aspect of good things people are doing just because it didn't work for them. But it's like, look at the whole picture, see what it gave you. But I saw that video and it just really irked me because
I got a big problem with people like that.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, it didn't work for you. These people it clearly worked for. They're not posting these transformations if it didn't work. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, these people posted it. They obviously had great success. They're proud of their accomplishments. And rather than be like, hey, great work, it's, let me tell you why this is shitty for me and why it shouldn't fucking work for you either. Like, just shut the fuck up, honestly.
Because I don't even
why
think
you gotta
they
say
finished
anything.
it. Yeah, I don't even think they finished it. I think they stopped because it didn't. And it's like, if you're committing to something, get through it, because your body might not change in the first 3-4 weeks, but the whole point of your mental and physical state is that it takes time, it takes consistency for that to build. And it's like, what are you doing outside of the working hours of focusing on it? And I think that aligns with this topic that you're talking about right now, is that people aren't going to see things the way you do. And so you're going to get a lot more criticism and feedback around it, because they don't see the vision, they don't see the dream, they don't see why you're passionate about it. And so it's the same thing for weight loss. I can remember back to last year when I was sitting around a dinner table and somebody that I was really close with was going to reach for another, I don't know if it was like a roll or a potato or something like that. We were eating a steak dinner and everybody at the table was like, I told him, I was like, you can't eat that. And they were like, what do you mean he can't eat that? Let him eat it. He's doing so good. He's lost so much weight, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's the kind of things that reverse what he's working so hard for, exactly, what she's working so hard for. And so it aligns perfectly with that. And it's like, sometimes you got to make the sacrifices. And so I know you're smiling because we know something that they don't know, but we're not going to get into that. But no, it's just that. And it's staying grounded and staying true to yourself. And this aligns. Where was I? I'm reading a book right now. It's called, where is it at?
Winning.
It's out in the kitchen. Winning. And the guy talks about why people have insecurities, why we question everything, why this. And he was saying that when we're a kid draws, a kid dances all the time, a kid screams, he's happy, he's this and that, and he's showing all of these personality traits. But then you have parents, you have aunts, you have other like adults that are like, hey, stop doing that. Hey, don't run there. Hey, don't do this. And then it starts building up walls.
Yeah, it puts them in a box.
Oh, yeah, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't. And it aligns exactly with this. It's like, don't let other people influence the impact that you're trying to either have on yourself or the world, because we could stop. I know there's people that I've talked to that I told them my dream and vision for DTI, and they've kind of chuckled and were like, oh, you expect to make a change in this world? And it's like, yeah, and I'm going to fucking make that happen.
Right.
And so it all aligns with this concept of that quote that you had wrote down back in November or whenever you did it.
I just don't understand like the thought process behind people vocalizing it. Like, you would never, and honestly, this is when you should, but you would never go up to someone and say, hey man, maybe you need to cut back on the sweets. Maybe you need to start exercising a little bit more. You don't do that because that's rude. And like, it's not your place. At the end of the day, it's not your place.
Mm-mm.
But then when they do something to better themselves, you feel like you have the right to say something. Like, I don't understand like where that disconnect is. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I think it's just habits. I mean, it's not like we're perfect. We do this with people too, or
Right.
we question whatever. So it's not like anything we say on this is just an outlook. It's not what we're feeling or who we are, or that we don't do these things. Like, we're just speaking from experience or things that we went through or things that we see. And so I think it all starts. I mean, even in like our job or like the outreach that we're doing to lock in new clients, some people would be like, well, why are you doing it this way? That doesn't make any sense. But it's like, maybe it doesn't make sense because they're not thinking outside the box and they're not attracting
And
that
also,
sort of,
you've never done it.
mm-hmm.
Like, you're trying to tell me something and how to do something that you've never fucking done yourself.
Yep.
Oh man, I could really get. I don't know why I get heated sometimes on these things, man. But it really just wants to start pushing me. But I'm gonna hold myself together because we got another.
It's just because you have the passion and drive behind it, and you do a lot of things that a lot of people wouldn't test themselves physically and that capabilities. And that translates to, okay, after I'm done doing physical things, now I have to challenge myself in eating right. Now I have to challenge myself on waking up and sticking to this routine, because just like after this, you're going on a 2-mile bike or a 2-hour bike ride and then a 45-minute run. Like, that takes a lot of discipline. And if you don't do those at a specific time in the day, then it's going to fuck everything else up, and it's not going to let you hit the other goals that you have to do. And so it's just, I think from a standpoint of challenging yourself, but also having the belief and passion that you can do the things that you want to. I have a friend right now back home, and she's opening up a studio for her business. And so I've been seeing clips through Snapchat and everything like that. And it's fucking eye-opening to see that, because they're going after this dream that a lot of people might be like, damn, you're opening up a store to do this. and she's good at it. She knows what she's doing, like all of this stuff. And it looks amazing. And it's like 25, 26 years old. If she fails, who cares? Guess what? She learned a whole bunch of fucking lessons
Yeah, and she
and
took a
she can
fucking
get back on
shot.
her. Yeah. And so I know she's going to succeed and I know it's going to be great, but it's one of those things where I'm sure she has a fuck ton of people telling her, like, be careful. This is a big investment. Are you sure you're making the right choice? And so it's just cool to see people going after their aspirations and dreams
Mm-hmm.
because there's not a lot of that out there in the sense of even like where we grew up or like anywhere you are, there's always going to be people like maybe right now is not the right time. Maybe you should focus on your career in this way. Maybe you should. And it's like, fuck that. It's the same thing with like college. If some people don't want to go to college, don't make them. Let them go to
Yep.
trade school. Let them open up something. Let them go and reach their dreams. So whatever it is, but there's just so many people that have input and insight into all of our lives. And so we let those words and those individuals really heighten our anxiety about trying this or trying that, or let me step out of my comfort zone because they're like, oh, well, I failed at this. And it's a snowball that keeps going down if you
I think
don't
that's something like that
put it to
I've
a stop.
gotten a lot better at is not allowing people to influence my decision making. There was a time where I would just, like if anyone said anything kind of cautious, I'd be like, you know what, you're probably right. Maybe now is not the time. Because there
Mhm.
was so many times before this where I'm trying to be a personal trainer, like I'm trying to coach people, and it's like I never went all in the way that we did with DTI. And I think
Yeah.
that that's the difference. I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like I've put the time in, I have the knowledge. Like why not? And I
Mhm.
think that people are just intimidated from the outside, and so they feel the need to speak up. But if we had more people just being supportive, I don't care if you don't give me a single dollar. If you just speak words of
Yeah.
encouragement, that's all I fucking need. Like, just don't bring your negative viewpoints and try to put me in a box that society's built just because you never had the strength or the courage to break out of that box yourself.
Yeah. That or just realizing that there's not that we all don't have the same passions. We don't all have the same drives. And just because we don't agree or believe in something that somebody else is doing, or we don't see the long term success it could bring, doesn't mean it's wrong. And so it's just keeping top of mind that anything is possible in this world. And as long as you just like working on mental and physical health, if you have the consistency and you put in the effort every single day, day in and day out, there's a good chance that it's going to fucking succeed. And so it's not focusing on, oh, how can this be $1 billion company or $100 million? Like start small, reach those goals, and then keep going. Know what you need to do to quit your corporate job, or know what you need to do to get the extra money that you're doing this for, because it's just small steps. And so we don't always have to think so big. We can get a little bit granular and be like, all right, well, what's important right now in the short term? All right, what can we focus on long term? And it's about painting those pictures. And as we always talk about, having action behind the plan, because a plan with no action is nothing. And I mean, it starts with every single day. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do to make it happen? And that's getting up and that's getting the shit done and knocking out the daily tasks that you need to for it to stem and actually create success for you.
At the end of the day, it doesn't have to be anything that's like super extreme. Like I understand the things that I do are very extreme, and so I get the reason that it intimidates people. But I'm
Mhm.
also not putting it out there to be like, "Hey, you can do this too." Like if you want to, I have 100% faith in you that you could do this. I do believe that. I think that it's possible for anyone, especially like being like in this Ironman community now. I'm seeing dude I'm training with a dude who's like in his 50s, and he was overweight for most of his life, and he went from like overweight in 2019 to an Ironman in 2021, and now like he's just pushing himself even farther. So like it is possible, but you don't have to do things to this extreme. Just take a small step to get a little bit better today.
Yep. Get out of your comfort zone. That's what stops a lot of us is we put ourselves
Mhm.
in this box of this comfort zone that doesn't let us um, think or do abstract things because we're like, what about this? What about that? Go after it, do it, see what it's like. And it's so funny because we were in that group chat last week and I was like, nobody likes getting uncomfortable, but whatever. And you're like, oh, I kind of do like getting uncomfortable. I'm like, of course you fucking do, Dylan. And so it's just funny because your mindset is extremely different, but I think that's why like our pairing relates a lot because we balance each other out. And so,
And I didn't always
um,
have that mindset though. Like there was a long time where I only wanted to be comfortable. Like
yeah.
it was just my default. And then all of a sudden once you do it though and you flip the switch and you realize like the growth that comes from doing hard shit and getting uncomfortable, then that becomes addicting. And who knows, maybe I just have an addictive personality as it is. But either way, like I do believe that that's a thing for everybody.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, like we always preach, man, today's the first day of the rest of your life. Go out, be uncomfortable, do the things that you want to do, reach your dreams, reach your heights, because it doesn't matter your age or anything. There's people out there 12 years old all the way to 70 years old that, oh, I want to do this, or I wish I would have done this earlier, or whatever. So go out there, do it, fail, get up, do it again, and it's going to succeed. I know somebody that is, I don't know, in their 30s or 40s or something like that. And they were talking to me, just giving me kudos on doing what I'm doing. And they were saying that they want to have an impact, but they're scared on, what their family would think if they quit this job or and focus more on this. And it's crazy because it doesn't just happen in your 20s. It doesn't just happen in your 30s. Like it goes well past that until the day that you die. And so don't live with any regrets and just keep fucking going after what you want.
Yep. Anytime you're pushing for more, you're gonna face resistance. It's just, are you
Mm-hmm.
gonna take that resistance head on, or are you gonna be like, okay, never mind, fuck it, I don't care about my dreams.
Yep. I like
Yep.
it.
Me
As
too.
we said, the bottles, the link is in the bottom. If you guys could, this is supporting us. This is going to be able to create, more merch. Everything that we're doing is just going back into DTI so we can keep growing it and doing more things. We've had a ton of people reach out about, shirts and all of this. When you guys doing apparel, but we got to take baby steps. So that way this brand keeps building and we keep doing the things that we need to show the value in it, to get people like yourself that are watching hip to it, find value in it, and then implement some of the things we say into their lives. So that way, hopefully they make a change and can change others. So keep working at what you love, keep doing what you do, and always have the desire to inspire. That's all
We'll
I
catch
got.
y'all in the next one then.